I've spent weeks learning Claude Code to be able to build an AI operating system that runs my businesses. But the real test isn't what I can do. It's whether I can teach it. So I brought 6 founders into a room for one day to see if we could change their businesses forever.
All right guys, so we are here for my first in-person AIOS Mastermind. It's more of like a workshop, but we've got, I think it ended up being like 6 or 7 founders here. And they're all here to get put through a sort of compressed session on how to get the AIOS set up. And this is really important for me in sort of my progression of learning this stuff and taking not just what I do inside my room down there, but being able to pass it over to entrepreneurs. So I've put out a form on my Instagram and got a whole bunch of different replies and different types of businesses applying. So I use Claude to analyze all of them, figure out I want a good mix of different levels of capabilities with Claude Code or with AI, like how experienced they are, a very broad range of business models so that I can try to apply this to different business models. So it's going to be a very intense day of learning and trying to like bend and apply my skills and knowledge around building these AI operating systems for businesses to these different people and seeing the little issues they have along the way so I can start to make better solutions for those. I'm looking forward to a massive day of learning for them, of course, but also for me. I'm going to take a lot away from this, and so I'm really looking forward to getting into it. A little bit nervous, as I should be, but that's where the growth is really. Here's to a good day of learning and sharing.
Yeah. Close. Veilmatic.
No internet.
Throws a mastermind with no internet, my G.
Alright guys, so today we want to get you to the point where you have understood what this AIOS stuff is, first and foremost. So we're going to be going through some theory. Then we're going to be walking you through getting your Claude Code environment set up if you haven't already, and the sort of specific settings that we recommend. We being, like Emil here is one of my top graduates from my accelerator program and a very good friend of mine now. And he's been deep as you can get on the stuff with me over the past few weeks here as well. We also have Akil, one of my best mates, and also very deep in the AI space as well. He's been running his AIOS with us here during the lock-in as well. So we've got basically 2 coaches hovering around. But the end goal of all of this stuff is basically to give you what I call a workspace that knows your business. So that's context. That's what we're setting up here. That is connected to all the things in your business that it needs to be, or at least a good portion of them, and you have an idea of how you can add on to those after you leave here. So that's going to be in integrations here, and also stealing a bunch of handy things that I've found that help my AIOS to work better, which is what I call like the default stack. So you can think of what we're building here just first and foremost as like a Claude project on steroids that has like full context to your business and it can always pull in more when it needs. And then also it's just going to be, due to the connections and integrations to different parts of your business, you'll be able to basically do everything you need to in here, either by the end of the day today or by adding in additional integrations after you leave. I'm going to go through some theory in a second, but what I first want to do is for you guys to just do a little round of introductions. I guess I can go through it. My name is Ottley. I run a bunch of different AI businesses. We did 10 million last year, and we're on track to probably double that this year. And AI usage, I'm pretty deep in this stuff, as you'd expect. So, Linus, if you want to start off, we can go around.
My last company was an influencer business. I now own a PE fund called Irrational Media. The whole thesis is we buy niche media companies.
I have a holding company. I know what I'm doing. It's co-work. I love it. But Claude Code is they're flat bucks.
Our business revolves around sales. We help develop programs for the hotel resort sector. So we supply travel agents and suppliers, world singers. Now, Walter's been quite deeply involved in AI, and it's just like, Dad, you need to get this. You need to learn it.
The stuff that we're about to show you today automated my whole delivery. It used to take us a week of a person working full time, and now it's like pressing a button and the client's delivery part is done. So yeah, excited to hear what he does.
People that betray me don't even fucking know that I know. It's something that I just file away.
Why are we doing this in the first place? Ultimately, I think this graph is the most powerful thing that you guys need to understand as business owners. The price of services is here, and it's going to start going down like this. Like we're already starting to see probably the downward slope happening, and specifically certain industries like creative. Like I remember back when I was doing e-com, I would have to go to a creative agency. I'd have to send them the scripts, they'd have to get the actors, they'd have to get the studio, they'd have to do the edits, they'd have to send it to me, they'd have to review it, then they'd have to like send it off to me, and then that was like $5 grand. And it took fucking 2 months, something. Like, it was just, now there's creative agencies or smart people who are moving on to it. Either they're upstarting as AI first creative agencies, and they offer packages like, I'll give you fucking 50 of those things that you took 2 months to do last time, and I'll do it like rapid revisions, and I'll give it to you in 2 days. So this is prices. And then we have cost to deliver. So right now they might might have pretty thin margins already in most businesses. The goal for us is to be able to be the ones who can drop our margins as quickly as possible. And so this becomes the reward that's on the table. This massive gap in margin is how quickly can you and your business model use AI and automation to just fucking drop your cost to basically nothing and just make hay while the sun shines. If you literally don't start doing this now, like, bang. You're already probably feeling the squeeze, like in some ways from these sort of things. And if you're not, it's definitely coming. If you think it's tough, like a lot of business owners are already like struggling, you know, like it's like you're working your absolute fucking ass off to like just keep the thing going. Imagine when like these margins start going down and the cost per acquisition goes up and like things aren't closing because you've got people undercutting you, or you've got an AI first competitor who's offering your services for a fraction of the cost and it's faster, and you're bound to lose. So I think a lot of people don't realize this, and like this stuff really first awoken me to how serious this stuff is. When this gets rolled out, even if it's just a small group of businesses, when you can offer those creative services, like comparably, and you can do it at such a higher scale, it's gonna be messy, and it's gonna happen very quickly as well.
Bad 'em up once. If you wanna come and take man for a dunce, I've been on the grind for 100 months and I ain't stopped doing music not once. Bad 'em up once. If you wanna come and take man for a dunce, I've been on the grind for 100 months and I ain't stopped doing music not once.
All right, so that's the first bit done. We got through a lot of theory there. Now we're gonna be jumping into doing the actual setups. So giving them my starter template and getting them set up on either Claude Code desktop or setting up VS Code or Cursor to do that. So this is when it's gonna get a little bit messy, but we're gonna have myself, Akil, and Emil helicoptering around to make sure they get things set up. So this is a bit of the training piece that's a bit messier, but it's an essential part of it, so I need to figure out how to get it really streamlined for people.
Wishing after years of this and after user swinging, still do the crime and walk, no, because everything seems cloudy. I've never been robbed in a game because I'm rowdy. Carry on, I would take a hammer to your Audi. I'm like a soldier from Saudi, you're not bad rowdy.
Alright, so get it to asking questions. Give it photos or documents. Keep asking it if it has questions about things until it's really dialed in. We've got another 15 minutes on this, so I want to hear you guys yap it away. It should sound like chaotic again. I'm not hearing enough talking.
While I'll see you, Lemons will lean you, E3 teacher, LOM preacher, UK speaker, Trinidad bloodline.
That's been good. It's been good. Tiring. Definitely running out of steam. But just seeing them get it is so sick. And like, there's been a couple of them, I don't know how many you caught on camera, but it's like, man, like, whoa, like seeing the like wow, like aha moment.
Fuck, that's cool.
Those are the moments that whole thing is for. And now once they get the workflows down of just like the workflow patterns of how to use it and like the usage patterns really of the Claude Code kind of in the Cursor environment, and that, oh, I can just ask it to do that. Like getting them used to saying, no, stop asking me, ask Claude, ask it. Bro's getting that ask Claude mentality, you know?
The what?
The ask Claude mentality.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, you got a question? Just ask Claude. Yeah. And once it's got that business context loaded in, from there they're off to the races. And so it's just really like an understanding of how to use it, really. Once you've like guided them through the setup, it's just slowly adding in those reps of, oh, okay, so I click this, then this, then this, okay, this, then this, then this. And they're starting to get it now, so big success. And I'm just exporting a few of my kind of pre-made things that I've done in here and get them to plug it in and play around with it so that they get experience with that process of taking something from someone else, installing it, and then setting up their API keys to be able to play around with it themselves. The last thing to wrap this up, I think the best way is to sort of put all the stuff into action. So it's going to be based on what's called the /explore command. And that's basically a workflow that walks you through One, figuring out what the hell you're even asking for. So it's a command that will be put in here. I've just dropped it into the WhatsApp. You will need to grab that. It's not even zipped. Just drag it directly into your commands file. So .claude, and then in the commands folder, you'll have another one in here now called Explore. Fiddles here has just done his first custom implementation. He's used the Explore workflow where he's gone, actually was it Brainstorm?
Yeah.
So he didn't even know what he needed to do, but because the system has enough context on his business now, because he's loaded it in there, he was able to go using a Brainstorm command and figure out, hey, the first thing that he should do is try to get a Zoho integration, which is where he's got a lot of his business stuff set up at the moment. So he went from Brainstorm into Explore, and then he went to a full exploration phase. He started getting out the screenshots, and when it walked him through going onto Zoho and getting the API key, walked him through those step by step, back and forth with the screenshots to make sure he did it right, gave it all the keys it needed, and then was able to fully plan out and then build and even test before we've tested this. So this, I mean, the demo always goes wrong, but it still runs tests to make sure that the JSON is going back correctly. So it's saying right now, how many active Holiday Corp subscribers do we have? Like, what's a question that you want to ask about Zoho integration?
I would say any overdue invoices. It's always about the money, right?
So say,
Are there any overdue invoices?
it's going into the Python script that it wrote to connect into Zoho. Unpaid count 0, overdue count 32. Oh, they owe you a lot of money, bro. It's not really the reaction you wanted.
Yeah, well, this is pretty cool because by the time I get this data is generally before month end.
Yeah.
You know, so I could look at this now on the 10th and put a bit of screws into the stuff.
Yeah.
You know, where's my money?
But you see how these are just small pieces that add up, right? So you can do it on demand now, but once you've got this on demand, you can do it automated. So next step would be, I wanted to set up, what are all these key data points I want from Zoho?
That's the cron job.
Yeah, the cron jobs. So,
Yes.
okay, I want the invoices, I want the new this, the new that, I want the alerts. It can pull it every morning, and it can send it to a notification on your phone on Telegram.
Brilliant.
So there you go.
Thank you so much.
There we go.
Yeah, and then you just extend onto it. It's like, who's owed you? Okay, yeah, send those emails. It all builds up from there.
Brilliant.
All right. Right, so that has been
Live session, you've got
a lot of hours. I'm not going to do the maths on it, but 10 a.m., probably about 10:30 to 6:30. So that was a big day. We actually did get the amount of hours we expected to there. We went through most of this, didn't get to this. We actually got a bit distracted and worked on personal projects in this section here. But pretty huge success. I think the main thing for you guys was just like getting you on it, getting you to understand the workspace, and getting you to understand some of those workflows we're talking about. That was a big one, because now you guys have enough steam, and I think you were the best example of just learning to...
Well, thank you, guys.
Get out the like the trophy and stuff, eh? Like have the medals or something, most improved player and stuff. But seriously, seeing you there, it gives me a lot of hope for like all sorts of business owners, that if you just like have faith in asking this thing enough questions, because that was the big, I told you, stop asking me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be here in 2 hours.
I'm banned from asking.
You need to ask that. You
Can I ask you a question?
So that's awesome, and like the screenshot stuff, this will be very helpful for Emil and I and Akil to be able to know where the little gaps were you in the install process, so thank you for having patience with us on there. But that's the sort of stuff we get to iron out for the next one. And yeah, I've got a bunch more stuff for you guys. Now you know how to use that /install workflow.
Yeah.
I've got like the GitHub setup and the documentation. I've got the AIOS one, which is about building a fully integrated database for you, so you can query your business data, like full integrations across like the whole pipeline, financials and stuff. And those will be the 2 next big wins for you guys. So I'll get those over to you on the WhatsApp. But thank you for coming. Hope it was worth your time. And
well,
you guys, I get to watch your growth and success now on this. So I'm super excited to see how you guys go with this. Please keep us updated on how you go. And also, you know, we had the /install command, but we also have the /share. So if you come up with some cool shit, /share, it'll walk you through bundling it up and then chuck it on the group and share it with people. Cool. Sweet. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Close, I stare at my dreams as they approach. Gotta be patient and trust in God, He the coach.